Nadine O'Brien here at Hinterland Veterinary Surgery. Today we're doing a blood smear and a diff quick staining. I have the blood here. We took it from a canine and it was from the jugular. The reason why we took it from the jugular was to preserve the cephalic vein for the catheter, so it was best to take it from the from the jugular. The EDTA tube was choose so then the blood wouldn't clot from the time that we collected it until the time that we're running the test, which is now. We took 5 mils in total of blood, and we're also running in-house testing. So in my EDTA tube, I have 0.5 mils here of blood to do my blood smear and staining with. With this, once you put the blood in, we use gloves. We rotated it several times to ensure that the EDTA, the anticoagulant, is active and the blood is unable to clot. We have labelled it with the patient's name as well as the date, just so then in case if you have other blood around and you're running tests, you're not going to get them confused. With the slides here, I have my slides. They are also labelled with the patient's name, the date, and so that way again they can't be confused and mixed up. For PPE, I've used gloves today. That way any blood or anything can't get into my skin, and also reduces the risk of potential bacteria and contamination, as well as it's just PPE and hygiene. So the precautions for taking this was taking the blood, was restraining the animal, using another person as well as myself to take the blood, using gloves to ensure that, again, PPE is best. And yeah, once you've put the blood in straight away, rotating it several times to reduce the risk of it clotting. So both the EDTA tube as well as the slides were labelled and dated. So right now I'm just going to do my blood smear. So I've got a 1 ml syringe here. I'm just going to open it in an aseptic manner. And gently unscrew the lid of the EDTA tube and draw up a small amount of the blood. And just place 1 dot of blood onto the slide gently, and placing the remaining straight back in case you need to use it for another blood smear. So with my other slide, I'm going to draw back on a 45-degree angle and then gently push off. So my blood smear is then complete. So it's nice and smeared across the table. Alright, so once that has been done, I'm going to allow it to air dry. So I'm putting it in a space that reduces the risk of it getting contaminated with any other products, and just going to wait for that one to air dry. Now that the blood smear has dried using air dry, I'm going to dip it in all 3 solutions, several times in each solution, ensuring that the full stain is covered. Okay, once it's being dipped in all 3 solutions several times, I'm going to gently run it underneath the water. Removing the stain. Alright. So once the stain's removed, it's now just dyed. I'm going to allow that to air dry again, so then you don't damage the blood cells by using a hairdryer. So while that's drying, I'm putting it in a safe spot. So with the existing blood, I'm just going to keep it in a safe spot as well in case we need to redo any testing or more further blood smears. So just putting it up on the shelf is where we keep the bloods once we've finished running them. With the syringe and the syringe wrapper, I'm just going to place this into the general waste bin. and just going to wait till that air dries. Okay, so once the stain is completely dry, I'm going to put it up on the microscope and notify the veterinarian that the stain is ready to be looked at. So the other slide that I used for the scraping and this spread, I'm going to dispose of into the sharps bin. And then the stains, I'm going to put all 3 lids back on the stains so then it prevents any dust or dirt or anything like that going into the stains. I'm then going to remove my gloves in an aseptic manner, folding them outwards, and then wash my hands. So using Chlorhex and warm water. I'm going to wash them. Once they're completely washed, I'm going to use a paper towel to dry them, and then notify the veterinarian that the stain is ready to be looked at, as well as the excess blood is placed up on the counter in case we need any more. And that's how you do a diff quick and stain.